use it for the FA Cup, do they really?
No.
I understand the Premier League. It's the rest of the European leagues use it, don't they? Are fine, but yeah, when you look at it like that, why? Yeah, it's. I mean, what do they do with the League Cup? They don't use it at all, do they?
Do you know, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but you know, in the FA, it just seems like an absolutely stupid rule that nobody's given any thought to. Just like, it's a new toy. We'll put it in where we can put it in, and where we can't put it in, sod it. So what? Yeah,
that's exactly what they're doing, aren't they? Yeah. Just wherever they can, they do it.
Yeah, so make it fair across the board. Get rid of it. Just and let's be honest. I bet you if you took a poll of the average fan, I bet most fans will tell you they don't like it.
Well, yeah, they want it out of everything, wouldn't they? Yeah.
It's not gone down too well, has it? Let's be honest. It's not been a great start.
It were weird. The World Cup in 2018, I actually thought it went quite well, but then they just started fiddling about with it too much. Just like these marginal offsides are ridiculous, and
the handballs.
Yeah, but in the World Cup, the referee was in charge. Yeah. He got told, maybe have a look at this. He went to the side of the pitch, and it was still his call. Yeah. Whereas now you don't. They've got that park, haven't they, where they've got everything, and I don't like it at all. No.
So that's my first point. Get rid of that. I know it's a little one, but it's a big one in terms of a lot of things.
I agree with point one.
I'm going to come with point two, which this happens at Liverpool. Obviously, I don't know much about other clubs and what they do. Ticket prices. At Liverpool, the prices are reduced. Obviously, they go up a little bit depending on who you get drawn out, but on the whole, they're less than what they are for a Premier League and a Champions League game. Why are they not looking at clubs that can't? Liverpool still fill an FA Cup game. They'll still fill a League Cup game. As probably Manchester United probably will do.
Yeah, it's because they've got people like you in waiting.
So they'll probably be. I can't think of any other clubs really that might really sell it out completely like them two would do. But the other clubs, why are we not looking at ticket prices? If you've got, to me, it never makes sense this. If you've got 1,000 empty seats, right? Why not? Forget the price completely. Why not donate them 1,000 seats to kids,
to local schools?
Don't pay them to get in. It's a free ticket, because what they're doing is not only are they getting bums on seats, which improves the atmosphere, which we're seeing more than ever now with the empty stadiums, but secondly, they might get a bit of pocket money. Yeah. They might buy a burger. They might buy a programme. They might buy something from the shop. So technically, the club's done better by giving away them free seats.
Yeah, it's a rolling effect, isn't it?
Of course it is. I live in Doncaster. I can't recall a scheme. My little lad goes to school. I can't recall a scheme where Doncaster Rovers are giving free tickets away for an FA Cup game.
And how empty is their ground most of the time? Yeah.
And I paid to take him to see when they played Crystal Palace a couple of seasons ago.
That was an FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah. But, all right, I don't think it was completely full, or maybe I'm wrong, I can't remember. But if it wasn't Crystal Palace, if it was, I don't know, somebody in the same division, right, and it were half full, why not give them away?
Yeah.
As a prediction as a club, how many tickets you're going to sell.
Of course they do, yeah.
So if you know, come Wednesday before the game on a Saturday, that you've got, 2,000 tickets free, why not give them away? You're not telling me there's not kids in Donny that love to go, and not just kids. Rather than go through the schools, advertise it, make a big social media deal about it, and say, if you're the parent, we'll give you 2 free tickets. Yeah. So kids, because there's some kids that can't get there if the parents have to pay for it. People aren't really that, struggling financially, especially at this moment in time. But why are they not looking at bringing ticket prices right now?
Yeah, I can remember when I went to see Villa quite often in probably late noughties it was, and FA Cup games, League Cup games, and European games were a tenner. And that's a Premier League side, that were a top 6 Premier League side. But every home game of those, because I think they wanted to pack it out. But it were weird. I never really had any bother with that with Aston Villa at that time. I'm not sure what they do now. But yeah, that's definitely the way forward for that.
Tenner, even less, a fiver sometimes. Yeah. Your lower clubs especially.
Yeah.
Because I just think you've got nobody in anyway. So I cannot for the life of me, try to think, even as a business model, all right, you're giving a ticket away free, but if you've got an extra 1,000 bums on seats, you're not telling me you're not going to make more money out of that. And you're not telling me that 1,000 more voices, because quite clearly, your crowd helps you. It doesn't. I don't care what anybody said. A crowd influences games. The noise, the songs getting behind your team, it gives them that extra 1-2%, which might get them over the line. It might get Donny Rovers over the line against Bradford City, and then the next round they might get drawn out away at Arsenal. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So if your numbers are down, the attendances are down, why not have a scheme before it even starts where maybe even people can register for it. And they can give away a set allocation of free tickets. You know, you seem to get all your hardcore ones. They're going to go anyway. You know, they're going to go. But I just don't get it. I just don't understand why they're not doing something. It really frustrates me. I know loads of people that can't afford to take the kids to football, especially if you've got, I don't know, 2 kids, 2 boys, 3 girls, whatever, and they're into football. You think about paying 30 quid a ticket for 4 of you. That's over 100 quid before you start.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a perfect opportunity to get new fans through the door, get them the experience of a match day, because when I was young, it was magical. I mean, I can't be admitting this. My dad was a massive Rotherham fan when I was a kid, and he used to take me to Millmore all the time. But I loved it. It was raw. I loved it. It was unbelievable. And that kind of, at the same time as I was watching football on TV and playing it, I'm having posts on my wall and, buying the kits. Doing that and getting the ability to go and watch it fueled my passion for it even more.
You obviously went to Bellevue quite a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, during the 90s especially, that I went more there than Villa, because it's round the corner. And you could go with your friends, and they used to do £1 a kid.
Yeah, and do you see that now?
No.
And Bellevue's half empty every game.
You mean Keepmoat now? Yeah, it's new stadium, different.
I wish it was Bellevue, but that's another argument. But yeah, anyway, so ticket prices is my point number 2. You're going to argue with this one, mate, straight away.
Go on.
Point 3 is scrap replays. I think it's a replay is I think it's an old form of an old game, of an old competition, and it needs to go for me. I know the implications of what you said earlier about saying that, you know, these little teams rely on it. They shouldn't rely on it, in my opinion, because they might never get through to a round where there's a big team anyway. So for me, I think by having replays in a time where your top clubs especially, without let's say they get knocked out in the opening round of both competitions. Let's say, I don't know, mid-team Wolves, for example. I mean, maybe not Wolves. That's probably unfair on them this season. But a team that's only entered into 2 competitions, a League Cup and an FA Cup, if they get knocked out of the first round, they only play 40 games that entire season. But if they go further, or if they're in Europe, you're talking 50, 60 games for the big teams. And mix that with the ticket prices, and what I come on to my further points down the line, while the FA Cup is not as magical anymore, this is where you're losing your interest. People don't want to see a replay of Liverpool messing up away at Northampton Town to bring them back to Anfield to pace them 9-0.
Northampton fans do, though.
They might do, mate. They might do, but we're not talking about the fan of a club. We're talking about an entire competition, which this moment in time has lost its magic. It's lost what it was. And the format of replays is an old system.
I think they cut it down to, is it
5th round now?
Is it 5th round?
Yeah.
Right, so I know what you say. The only thing that bothers me about it is financially. And you can say, you shouldn't be relying on it. They're not. They've earned it. So, you know, like you've just said there, say Northampton hold Liverpool at home. And then you've even said yourself that they'll sell out at Anfield, whoever thingy. That's half of Anfield's gates that Northampton get.
Yeah.
And that's what these clubs, that's what they look at in the FA Cup. And when you're on about games, I know, top teams European, the bottom 2 leagues also have to play that awful thingy trophy. And they play 46 league games a season.
Yeah, but it's not, unfortunately, but rightly or wrongly, it's not the bottom teams that drive forward football. It's the top teams.
No, but they're
the
roots of football.
Yeah,
aren't they?
look, I'm not saying for 1 second you don't need it. You do need the bottom teams, and I don't want to see any teams, you know, below Championship or any team go out of business as far as that's concerned. But if all right, but again, you're looking at it from a money perspective. Let's look at it from a fan's perspective, right? You say, oh yeah, a fan might want to go to Liverpool, but I bet you any money if I was a Donny Rovers fan and Donny Rovers drew Manchester United at home and it was 1-1. Right, 90 minutes, full-time whistle going, you're thinking, right, we're going to go back to Old Trafford. Yeah, I'm going to go visit Old Trafford, but we're going to get smashed about 5-6-0, right? Yeah, it might earn the club a few extra quid, but for me as a fan, would you not rather have had Doncaster Rovers take Manchester United to a penalty shootout at the Keepmoat with a chance of knocking them out? Would that not be a better day for the fan?
It depends how you look at it. Like you said there, a lot of clubs don't look at it. You know, sometimes it's pure luck that they beat these sides because they do just. You know, the thing, we've had a good run. We're not really bothered now.
What if they knock out Manchester United and they draw?
Well, it's famous, obviously.
But you draw, I don't know, Manchester City, Chelsea away next game, so you've still got your big away games to look forward to. I think that the whole, I completely get what you're saying, but I think it's an old mindset, and I think that I do think the FA, not the FA, the Premier League do need to do more for the clubs further down the pyramid in terms of what they pay them to make them survive. Because they need to survive. You can't just have...
Especially at times like this.
Of course you do. You can't just have elite level football. You can't just have Premiership and forget about everything else. It doesn't work like that. This football that we have as a country, it's not just about the top boys. It's about you think about how many thousands of people travel to watch football up and down the country every week. And we're not just talking your Premiership, although that's all the one that really gets the coverage. Championship, League One, League Two, the conference divisions, even your amateur Saturday footballers get. We've got Armthorpe Rovers near us.
Yeah.
When one of our friends used to pay for that, sometimes there are a couple hundred people there watching.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's only a couple of hundred, but that's crazy. So what I'm saying is they have to do more, but I do think that the over-reliance that some clubs maybe have on the replay to earn money at the same time as the only thing that benefits for me is the club's finances. That doesn't benefit the FA Cup, which is where I'm looking at this moment in time. A replay for Northampton Town to go and get smashed at Old Trafford does not benefit. It's not good. It's not good to watch, is it?
If you're going to scrap replays, I don't like penalties after 90 minutes. I never have done.
Extra time.
They've got to be. There's got to be extra
I'm
time
with that.
because that's 90 minutes isn't enough, in my opinion. Sometimes to split a game. Look, mate, maybe. I've told you I'm a traditionalist, mate. I don't like change.
Forget the finance in this. I just want you to think about the cup, and it's got to have change, mate, because it's not. The interest is waning every season. It's getting worse.
Well, we're not going to really mention it, but I mean, scrap the League Cup then. Let's give it. I don't like that.
I ain't got time to put
that.
I have a quick theory on the League Cup. I think that any team that qualifies for Europe should have the ability to opt out if they want. Because if you think about how many times Man City won in the last couple of seasons, it gives the teams below them the opportunity to win a trophy and get into Europe. So I think that the teams that get into the Champions League and the Europa League should be given the opportunity to opt out of it.
I wouldn't disagree with that, to be honest.
Because then I think you make it more exciting because you know it's going to be somebody other than the big, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams what you've got that are competing for it more or less year in, year out. But anyway, we can talk about that next week if you want. Sorry, I've got my throat. It's going. Point number 4, and this one I'm really, really, really passionate about. No more Wembley semi-finals.
Agreed.
Scrap it.
Agreed.
Chuck it to the wall. Throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
I am sick of it. I hate it. I think, for one, I could talk on about this all day. A final is a showpiece. It's working hard to get your day at Wembley. And when I lead on to that, I did it in 2012 when I went down to see Liverpool beat Everton in the semi-final, and then I had to go down, a month later to see Liverpool get beat by Chelsea in the final. 2 trips to Wembley, 3 hours from where I am. Expensive. It's still not easy. It's still not an easy ground to get to. I don't care what anybody says. It's still very difficult. You can't just park your car outside.
No, it's more of a public transport ground, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So if you think you have 2 clubs from, well, think about the first semi-final I told you about there. Everton and Liverpool. Majority of fans coming from the city of Liverpool, travelling all the way down to Wembley. One of them is going to have to do it again in 4 weeks, 5 weeks time, whenever that is. I hate it, mate. I don't know. I was talking about this the other night. I didn't want to talk too much about it because I have another theory on that where I think that maybe semi-finals, even though I'm trying to reduce the games, coming from a Champions League experience, think that rather than switch it and put it to a neutral venue on a Saturday or Sunday, because I think football's better under the lights. I think the atmosphere's better. I think it's great. I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't know what I said earlier, but a 2-legged.
So more games.
Yeah, but technically we're losing a lot more but we're adding 2 more, so we could be losing God knows how many, but adding only 2. I think a 2-legged semi-final under the lights, be it the following midweeks, Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, or whatever, alternative Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, home and away. So you've got your home advantage under the lights, and you've got your away advantage you've got then the other team's got their away advantage. So, for example, I'll keep using Liverpool again. Liverpool in the first week, they're at home, a semi-final against, Wolves. Second game a week later, Wolves have their home advantage. It's under the lights. The nighttime atmospheres, I think, are always better. People generally, I don't know, just under the lights, the atmosphere, and I'm going to come on to this further, is better. And I just think that would add a bit of spice. It's a 2-leg.
You can solve that, mate. just make the semi-finals on a weeknight. That's if you want it under the lights. It just